What happened? That was exciting. Hi, Camilla.
Hi.
I am so excited, you guys. Today we have Camilla Norgaard Jensen, and I'm so excited to talk with her today. She is someone who not only uses mindfulness as a lifestyle, but got a PhD in, of all the mindfulness things, is play. So I am so excited to have her here today, and her to talk about her just amazing study and just changing our brains on what we think play is. So do your introduction, and I give you Camilla Jensen.
Thank you, Brianna, and thank you so much for having me here on your podcast show. It's exciting to be part of. And today we'll be exploring the connection between playfulness and mindfulness and how those two things intertwine. And it's something that I've started exploring recently, partly because it's been part of my studies to look at how you can apply play to achieve serious results in organizational settings. But I've also become more interested in how might we apply it in our personal lives. So I've started experimenting with that, and that's what we're going to be sharing more about here today.
We'll talk more about that. I want to give your resume, your bio, because it's very impressive. Dr. Camilla Norgaard Jensen, spelled with a J, is an innovation scholar and process facilitator with a background in industrial design engineering. She is also a certified and licensed trainer with Lego Serious Play, and has been since 2012. And it's a method used to amplify the creativity and communication of cross-disciplinary teams who are grappling with complex problems. Camilla got her PhD from ASU, Arizona State University, in environmental planning and design, and also has, I'm going to paraphrase some of this, but she's also worked with groups at MIT, Media Lab to develop an interactive robotic play system for an active play during recess breaks. And you also do speaking. So you've spoken to the National Science Foundation to introduce Lego Serious Play at ASU, and worked in industry. You've worked on contributed to books, Serious Work, and What the Duck, and and you're a keynote speaker. I mean, like, this is really impressive. So I feel honored and to have you here today and to talk about we have talked before this about your perspective on play and how it grows our minds, our creativity, and is literally needed. So I want you to start off with, what is your definition of play?
Well, I think that's definitely a very common misconception, which I disagree on, which is not. So most people think that work and play are in contrast to one another. And all of my scholarship and all of my work is to show that it's definitely not. Play can enhance work. It can make us more creative. It can make us more productive. And it can make us better at connecting with our colleagues and more, in that way, more collaborative as well. So that's the main thing around play that I look at. It's also important to notice about play that it's our natural way of learning. It's the brain's favorite way of learning, is what Diane Ackerman says in her book, Deep Play. So if you look at babies and at children, even animal babies, they also learn through play. We're born with a certain amount of instincts. Yes. So human beings, if you think of us, we're born with very few instincts. We're actually only born pretty much with the instinct to suckle. So that keeps us alive, but it does not give us much more information about the world. It doesn't enable us to do very many things. So we have to learn that from our parents, and we have to learn through play. That's our natural instinct, our natural mode of learning, through experimentation, through trying different things on. It's also the way that we negotiate social roles and figure out our ways of relating through experimentation. And in the knowledge economy, people don't have a job like all the way through from high school and then to retirement. They have oftentimes multiple different jobs, and they'll have different types of knowledge that will be needed, different types of expertise. So it's important that they keep on learning. We have to be lifelong learners, which also means we have to be lifelong players, because that's our brain's natural way of acquiring new knowledge and practicing that knowledge in a way that's gentle and kind towards ourselves, and that helps us be good collaborators.
I love that gentle and kindness with play. It's not this like rough and conquer, and that's not play. I mean, it's a form of play, I guess, but it's not the conquer and everybody bow to me.
Yeah, that would be more in the competitive side of play, and games is a subcategory of play as well. So yeah, you can have more competitive ways of taking a playful approach, but that might be for a different program.
Yeah. Okay. So, how do play and mindfulness relate together?
I think you're onto part of it when you say it's about the mildness, the way you look at yourself when you're at play. It's also about the deep engagement. You're fully engaged, you're fully present, and the non-judgmental mode makes you resilient, because you look at yourself with mild eyes, and if you slip, you bounce back. Pretty much like our little tech hiccup where we lost the connection.
We don't have to be perfect. We can just play and have this recording. Yeah. And just a mindfulness that, it's just a part of it, and we're playing anyway. So,
and oftentimes it's the second arrow that does the most damage. You probably know that concept from mindfulness. So
what that is, I don't know what that is.
Okay. So oftentimes we talk about how there's two arrows. There's the event that occurs, something happens, it feels bad, but then the way we start thinking about it and start judging ourselves for what we let happen or what we made happen, that's what does the most damage to ourselves and our self-esteem. So the second arrow does the most damage.
That's great. I've never heard of that. I've heard of that concept. Eckhart Tolle talks about that a lot,
Yeah.
But I hadn't heard of two arrows. That's a nice short way to say that. I love that.
But imagine you could take the second arrow out of the equation if you look at yourself with milder eyes.
Nice.
And you're more playful about it. And you say, well, that was one experiment. I collected data. It wasn't the data point that I'd like to have. Now the scientist is speaking. But it
sounds like you're incorporating a lot of compassion too with your play. Yeah. Arrow method. Oh, we are using definitely the double arrow method. I am very familiar with it now. Okay, we are going to continue talking about what are the qualities of play that make play absolutely necessary in our lives, and what is the meaning of the difference between frivolous play and serious play?
Yes. So one of the reasons play is so amazing is that it allows us to learn, it allows us to be creative, and it allows us to improvise, like think at our feet. And also it helps us be resilient. It helps us bounce back when we have setbacks in what we're doing. Helps us relate to other people in different ways and be less judgmental. So the suspending judgment is definitely a big one, and it's one of the ways that playfulness and mindfulness connect to one another. And you're mentioning the frivolous play and the serious play. So you could say that frivolous play is when you're engaging in play for the sake of play. It's for having fun, for recharging. It's like a recess break. And you could do that in a bunch of different ways. It's basically engaging in activities that recharge you. It could also be an experimentation of some sorts. It could be taking a different route to work. It could be buying a new fruit in the supermarket. It could be like just taking small risks, because play is about expanding our comfort zone. And we can only do that by actually venturing out of it. And then we grow because we learn that nothing bad happened. And if something unpleasant happened, we're typically able to bounce back from it.
I love that. That like buying, like I see jackfruit all the time. Now I've had it before, but I've never bought it again. You know what I mean? Like I never thought of that as like play. You know, trying a new fruit as play.
I think of pretty much anything where you venture out of your comfort zone, where you don't just stick to business as usual or habits, where you challenge yourself because that's a direction you want to grow in.
But I love that idea that you can take a small action and it's still powerful, right?
Yes.
I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I have a book that provides a lot of good ideas on small actions that you could take in order to try out
and that's
playful activities.
By Stuart Brown, right? Or no,
this
M.H.
one.
Clark. That one's by M.H. Clark.
Yes, correct. And it's really about tapping into that inner child of yours, like the spirit you had when you were 8 and you looked at the world in awe and wonder and you tried on different things because you hadn't been told that you couldn't do whatever you put your mind to.
Or that it was a waste of time, or got other things to do instead of, Brene Brown says, you do your ART because I have a JOB. So
Yep. So here's some other suggestions to what you might do. You could wear a collar that you don't usually wear. You could draw a self-portrait with your non-dominant hand.
That's risky.
Yeah.
Can't be perfect.
No, it won't be. Or you could find a cloud that looks like an animal, or you can reward yourself for completing your to-do list items.
Nice.
So that's a way of gamifying your life. So gamification is just about applying like game principles and reward systems to what you already do. But you could make cleaning fun.
Marie Kondo, make it fun. I love the idea that, I have to name it play, right? So getting a new fruit is experimental, but it's also play, which gives it some more freedom to it. I love what you're saying about that. Like, it's not just let's go play. We have to go to a park to play. We have to do a sport to play, like this kind of bigness to it. And when it's really that beautiful, what I'm hearing you talk about is the beautiful in small ways, add that excitement, that creativity, and bring it in. You don't have to do huge, gotta find a day, be creative, You can do it in little actions in your day.
Yeah.
At the grocery store, get that fruit. If you're at, work, for me, when my kids were little, I love what you said about clouds. When we had this hail here a long time ago, and after the hail, the clouds were so thick. So we just laid down in the backyard and really tried to watch the shapes of the clouds. And now where we live, it's a lot of clouds. So beautiful just to and then tell each other what we thought we saw. I didn't think of it as play. I just thought of like, let's, and I need to introduce that more to my teenagers, that we can still do this little actions of play. I absolutely love that.
So I'm curious, when you did that with your children, what was the side effect of the activity?
Every time we drive now, they're like, oh, I see this. And it's hard, it's hard for me to see it because I'm driving. But it's just, we go back to, oh, I see this. We were in Colorado over the summer and in New Mexico and other parts of Arizona. And it was always in Colorado, there's clouds like every day. So we did a lot of hiking and things like that. So it was every day having that exercise, We're at home, we have big sky here. We're at home, we're busy, we're not thinking about it, but it was brought out in another couple of states. So it's still a part of us. It's still very much a part of us. So I hadn't thought about it like you're talking about, but that's, That's really great to
So
incorporate.
it's about noticing what's around you
Yes.
and applying that sense of wonder and awe and being thrilled by it and pointing it out, articulating it. But I bet what also happens, definitely in the workshops that I facilitate, what happens is that people connect around something. They connect around an activity, the playful thing that they're engaging in together, and they get to know a little bit more about one another and about themselves, because people see different things in those clouds, or they build different things in the Lego models I have up here and share different stories. So that's how we get to know more about the people that we're connecting with through play.
And
So
then,
that's definitely a superpower of play.
yes, and I've had the opportunity to do a mini workshop with you on Lego, and we all had to build a duck, and we all had the exact same
Yes.
pieces, and every one of our ducks was different. I think there was, I don't know, 8 or 10 of us in the little
Yeah.
workshop you did, and to me it was like, wow, they did that with the same things, and it you really gave us the perspective that, you know, none of these is wrong, all of these
Yeah.
are a duck. You know, and we all have the same materials, and there wasn't a competition of who had the best duck, and it was all just very simple. And you know, some people got really intimidated, like, oh my God, I don't know what my duck, but you let us off the hook, and it was more playful when you talked about they're all right. So I love that
Yeah.
aspect that you've brought to me about play, where there's no right or wrong. There's just play.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody got the same brief, the same amount of time, the same materials, and the same brief. Build a dock, any dock will do. You got 30 seconds or a minute. So there's no time to have a meeting with yourself, really, and there's no time to apply all of the judgment filters. You just put pieces of Lego together, and then you have a creation in front of you, and that creation is really a manifestation of what is your perspective on what a dock might look like. And the exercise shows that everybody brings something different and unique to the table. And I typically use that as a prime or a beginning exercise in a workshop, because it's so powerful in helping people recognize that it's important to listen to what other people are saying in a workshop, because you couldn't have come up with the doc that they came up with.
Exactly.
Obviously, they're bringing something else to the table that you couldn't have done,
And for a
and
group,
vice versa.
yeah, and for a group of people I kind of knew, it kind of
Mm-hmm.
made us a little closer,
Mm-hmm.
because we were going on to another workshop with people we did not know at all, and it was a wonderful like introduction. And yeah, that was great. I mean, I felt like the closeness in the room, because we played together and we had a little laughter, and we were all kind of shy about our ducks, but then you were like, oh, it's
Yeah.
okay. And it to me, it was just a gift. So I want
Yeah.
to wrap this up. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Camilla and I have some exciting news, because we want to continue this play. Camilla came up with this idea that we would start a meetup group, a Facebook group called, go ahead and you can say what it's called.
It's called Pleiades, because
Ladies.
adults need recess breaks too. Cannot be all chores and work.
I love that. I love that. So we are going to be developing it with you. So uh, if you are interested, email me at brianna@yourbeautifulbalance.com. And so that I can send this information out to you. I'm going to be sending you, Camilla has a lot of great books. Some you might be familiar with. One of them is A Whole New Mind. But I will send you the links to all the books that she suggests on how to enhance and grow the gift of play. Also, Camilla is available to speak at your organization. She's available to facilitate your group. She's got her PhD in play. I mean, if you are part of a group or an organization or a team that needs some more creativity, a broader perspective, and she would be somebody great to hire for facilitating your group, organization. So please get in touch with her. Her email is, or camilla.jensen@asu.edu. However, I will have all of her information for you in the blog post. And you don't want to miss out on this Pleiades, because we are going to be experimenting and playing. Camilla's already well versed in this, and I'm going on because it's just going to be fun, and I need to learn how to play more, even though I'm very mindful. I haven't really incorporated a lot of play, so I'm excited about this. So do you have anything you want to say about this Pleiades group?
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting your subscribers when they come together with us for a play date. And I'm looking forward to facilitating some experiences for them. And it'll be a way to get to know one another, get to know ourselves, and have some fun in the process, getting some deep reflections going.
Yeah, and
learn something new.
Yes, yes. And it's free. It's not going to cost anything right now. So, I encourage you, we will have the information up on Facebook. Camilla will have it. I will have it. Please, like Camilla, like my Facebook page, and we will be able to send you the information. I'll probably send it to my subscribers and they can decide if they'd like to or not. But I just want to thank you so much for being so flexible and playing today with all of our little technology challenges.
Yes, that's just all mine.
And first of all, I'm so excited that we got to talk and have our little hiccups, but it's such a testament to you that we just, we played even with, the hiccups. So I'm Brianna Beveridge from Your Beautiful Balance, interviewing Dr. Jensen and Dr. Camilla Jensen. And please look her up and get her hired for your play in your life, or join us at our Pleiades, and we'll get some play started. So we will see you guys later, and have a beautifully balanced day. Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye, Camilla.